Mm. Welcome, everyone. I guess today is a day of sharing. This is the fourth video I've created, or that's been created. And yeah, I just was reflecting. I've been going through all these Facebook posts that I've put online over the last couple years. And when I first started doing it, I really was reading everyone's feedback so intently and taking it seriously and feeling this immense sense of rejection. Like, I was trusting my heart, like this felt so true as to what I was supposed to be doing was to share my story, not as my story, but part of the human story, so that we could all relate to it in our own way. Not that your story is going to look at all like my story, but the underlying themes and currents of it will, because we're a human being and it's part of the human condition. So for a while, I was reading the comments and I was feeling so defensive about it because I didn't understand why the intention of it coming from a loving place and really following my intuition could be perceived in such a way. So I stopped reading the comments. And it wasn't because I didn't care or thought I was better than the words that you had to say. It wasn't coming from a place of that. It just felt like it was what I had to do to honor what felt true for me. And I share this story again because it feels so much larger than the actual story of just posting on Facebook and getting feedback. It's like how we live our lives. We can get lost in the feedback of others' interpretations of our experience and what they think is happening and what we should do about it, that we lose sight of our original intention. We start modifying, this is how we start modifying our behavior. We start doubting ourselves and what we're doing and thinking that maybe it's wrong. Maybe this is coming from an egoic place, or maybe it isn't trustworthy. And then we start taking that feedback on, and we start becoming someone that doesn't feel true for us. And this is how we get lost in a sense of lost within ourselves. Many people will say, I need to find myself and go on a journey to find myself. It's because we've taken on all of these ideas from the outside world of who we're supposed to be. So going back to the Facebook story, I really had to block it out for a while because it was preventing me from standing in my own integrity of my own calling of the heart, I guess. It felt like this was what I was supposed to do and I had to do it. And reading the feedback wasn't helping me, inspire me to do it. And when I did read it, it felt like I was losing myself in it. So it was creating a distance so that I could still share and honor what felt true for me without getting caught up in the opinions of other people, what they think is happening or comments on my experience. To really come within myself and trust what wanted to happen. To connect with the larger intention of seeing that it wasn't just about me. It never was. It was a sharing of my journey because that's my experience, but really to connect us to the human journey. I can't share your story in the same amount of detail because I'm not in your experience, but I can share mine. What these eyes see and this body experiences and the thoughts that come through this mind. I could share them with the freedom of knowing that it's not just me that these insecurities and doubts and fears happen to. It's really the human dynamic. And if I could share it through my experience to open other people to their own experience, if that shall be what happens, that felt like the best gift that I could give. And so I had to stay true to that. And now coming from a different place of really feeling that I'm grounded within the intention, not needing it to be affirmed or defended in any way, it's much easier to read the comments. And I'm so grateful for your willingness to share them. Yeah. Particularly those that shared and reflected on their own experience, not just commenting on mine. Yeah, it takes courage to do that, to really be honest and take it into how it relates to our own life. So when we can get to this place of seeing, resting in our being so strongly that we aren't budged by the opinions and ideas of those around us, then we can share freely. We can rest in our authentic being. We're not so affected by the opinions of other people around us telling us what we should do or how we should be. We can know in our heart what feels true. And sometimes it takes those moments of retreating, not necessarily retreating totally from action, but retreating from surrounding ourselves with people that are going to be feeding us comments and insights about our experience, in a way trying to fix us, which doesn't feel good. And we all know that it doesn't feel good to be fixed. But to open ourselves up to relating it to our own experience and being totally honest of where we still hold on, what labels we still hold, the pain maybe in our own lives that we deny or we don't allow to be expressed, or the images that we try to uphold for others, maybe even on Facebook. Anyway, I just share because I was reading these comments and felt like it really extended beyond just what I was seeing in my own experience of buying into the feedback and feeling like I needed to defend myself and needed to change what I was doing to accommodate what other people wanted or I thought expected of me, to really taking a step back. And for me, it took a couple years to really step back and to just become more connected with what feels true on the inside of me, not be bound and caught up in the perceptions of others, but feel confident and just and able to trust. The confidence comes from trusting, not a confidence in a I'm better or superior or I know more. It's not that. It's a quiet confidence. Confidence in just trusting your instincts, trusting what wants to happen within you. And then maybe from that place, we're able to re-engage and allow that feedback to come in. But it might not be just this confident, lasting sense of confidence. Maybe it requires another step out, and that's okay. By giving ourselves permission to take that step out, that's really how we keep coming and grounding more and more in our authentic being and staying true to ourselves. Then we never need to do anything to find ourselves. We just need to get rid of all the cloudiness around us that prevents us from seeing what we are. All the stories of other people, other people's opinions and beliefs about our experience that cloud our judgment, that cloud over our instincts and our natural knowingness, that what feels true for us. It's in there already.